What's happening, everyone? John Hendricks here for Boot Crew Media, coming at you with another episode of The Drive, presented by Royal Honda and also presented by DraftKings. The NFL action's in full swing here at DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, even bigger wins. New customers, you're able to bet just $5 on the NFL. Any NFL team, whether it's the Saints, anybody, whoever it is, get $200 in free bets if they do win. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. And right now, for every leg that you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. Payouts even bigger than that. Why bet on football anywhere else? To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game per day, all season long. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code BOOT, that's BOOT, to get $200 in free bets for just a $5 bet on any football game. That's the code BOOT, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. So the reason why you're here, obviously, it's the first injury report of week 3, Saints and Panthers on Sunday. Their team is going to go to London after the game to take on all the Vikings in week 4. A lot of preparations there, but let's start with kind of the biggest news of the day. Alvin Kamara, Paulson Adebo, both at Saints practice today. There was nobody that we didn't see at Saints practice today. So that's really good and encouraging news. 9 players were limited today, but obviously no bigger returns right now than Paulson Adebo and Alvin Kamara. So Adebo's obviously been dealing with an ankle injury. Kamara has been dealing with a rib injury. This is good news in the right direction, a good first step to start off the week. Obviously, we'd be a little bit more concerned if they weren't a part of practice, obviously, but that wasn't the case. So, look, we saw Ryan Ramczyk leave a little bit after the stretching portion. Taysom Hill didn't appear to be practicing too much, dealing with a rib injury. And then Marcus Maye also dealing with the rib injury. He did not participate in anything but stretches. But overall, encouraging to see, Adebo back. And obviously he got hurt in training camp towards the end, had been missing for about 4 weeks. But just getting him being able to be back on the field is a big step. And Dennis Allen obviously said, we're going to see where things are at. This is an important first step for him getting back on the field. And as far as Alvin Kamara, he was participating in practice, officially limited, obviously. But again, encouraging news for a Saints team that needs to get some things done offensively, and for a defense that's done pretty well in the first 2 weeks, now is going to potentially get a bigger boost back. And so, I think other points is Jameis Winston popped up on there. Obviously, we know the back issue, right? But it's also his foot was listed too. So it's back foot that limits Jameis. Dennis Allen said that this is going to be the kind of approach that they take, similar to last week, as far as his availability being limited and such. And so, look, we talked to Winston after practice. He's not focused on the back. He's not focused on any of the injuries or anything. He's just focused on getting better, which is obviously what you want to see. Looking at the picks last week, he pointed out, he said there were things there that he should have taken as opposed to putting the ball where he did that led to the turnovers. And obviously the big ones were the pick six and the ones that flipped the field, obviously in the field position, not necessarily the one to Juwan Johnson in the end zone. But, look, those are the things that Jameis obviously talked about. I've got to get better on. And he's aware, and I think a lot of people are making a lot of big deal about the back and, whether that changes anything or that has affected anything like that. But, according to Winston, it hasn't. And so, looking at practice today, he was around and active, but it was a lot of Andy Dalton and Jake Luton that were throwing passes today. And so, again, I think this is going to be kind of the normal plan. But look, Winston's out there. He's going to go in as the starter, until he's not. And so, looking forward to seeing the bounce back there. Pass protection is going to be key against the Panthers, a big focal point of this game. So, look, it's the Panthers. Everybody remembers what happened to them last week with the COVID game and all the coaches and stuff being out and stuff. That was a weird one in itself. But, main takeaways, obviously, for Wednesday's practice that we saw Alvin Kamara back at practice, Paulson Adebo back at practice. all the Saints players were there in some form, fashion, which is very encouraging for this team as they have another NFC South game on their hands with the Panthers, and then travel to London to take on the Vikings. So be a very interesting week to see how things progress. Ryan Ramczyk, we talked about him. He was limited officially with an elbow injury. So again, I think that's just going to be maintenance that they'll have to work through. But, health of this team trending upwards. That's what you want to see. But of course, we got 2 more injury reports to get through. As always, keep it tuned to Boot Crew Media for the latest and greatest. Check out all the written work at saints.media. We'll have plenty more to talk about for this game. And we'll be on the road in Charlotte this weekend, and we'll be in London too. So thanks, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned to all the stuff that Jack has, as well as Chris. I'm John Hendricks. This has been The Drive, presented by Royal Honda.